Hi, today we are going to work on teaching our dogs a hand target, or basically we're going to teach them to put their nose to our hand. So this is a really useful little tool because it means we can get food out of our hands and we don't need to rely on a lure to teach new behaviours. We also can use it for getting a recall, so our dog who kind of comes but then doesn't get in really close, we can present our hand to get them come in nice and close to us. And we can also use it for teaching loose lead walking, so getting them to walk nicely next to us using our hand in position to show them where we want them to be. So I'm going to show you how we start introducing it, and then we're going to work through the progressions. What we're going to do is we're going to count out 10 little treats each time we're doing our training. This way it gives us a measurable assessment on how our dog is progressing. And I'm not going to raise criteria, I'm not going to make it any harder for Milani until I know I can get 80% success rates. With those 10 little treats in my hand, I can see how many did she get right and how many did we I wasn't quite clear enough or she wasn't quite ready for yet. And if that's the case, we're going to keep practicing at that level until we increase the criteria once we've got that 80% success rate. Okay, so what we're going to do is either yes or click. You'll find in my videos I alternate between the two. My dogs know both. You choose what works with your dog and what you feel comfortable with. The focus point for this one is to make sure that we're delivering the treat after the click, not with the click. So remembering that marker happens and then the reinforcer occurs. Okay, so we're just going to use our hand presenter in front of Milani. Hopefully she'll come and have a little sniff because they are usually inquisitive little creatures. And I'm going to click as soon as her little nose touches my hand. All right, okay, Milani. Sweetie, good job. Well done. Okay, so keep your hand nice and close to your dog. It makes it easier for them, sets them up for success. We can build on distance once they get the behaviour. As well as that little problem solving ones, little Milani knows a shake hands, your dog might as well. And so if they lift up their paw to offer a shake hands, Milani tried that a couple of times. All I did was move my hand up a little bit higher. So instead of cueing it down here, I lifted it up a little bit higher to take it out of the equation. It wasn't what I was asking for the paw, I wanted the nose touch. Okay, I'm gonna let you have a play. We're just going to put it to the left, to the right, slightly up, slightly down, but focusing on still staying nice and close to make it achievable for the dog. So we're going to get out our 10 little treats. Oh, freebie from Milani. Okay, so again, those 10 treats, what we're doing is making it achievable and measurable for our dog. We've got the 10, we can measure success rates, and that gives us an indication of when we're ready to go up. So hopefully you've gotten an 80% success rate of just doing the nose touch nice in and close. If you haven't, keep practicing that till they're reliable with it. But if you've got your 80%, great job. Now we're going to move on and start moving our hand a little bit. Okay, Milani, sit. Alright, okay, we're going to work through our next step now. So what we're going to do is to start adding the verbal cue. So once you have an 80% 80% success rate that your dog is coming in and touching your hand, what we're now going to do is start putting a verbal to it. So I'm going to present my hand, and as the behavior is happening, we're going to add the cue. So I say touch, other people say hand, some people say nose. It is entirely up to you. Pick a word that doesn't mean something else for your dog and something that kind of comes out easily. All right, Milani, touch, 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 touch. Good girl, well done, sweetie. Good job. Good job. Okay, next step for teaching a hand target is starting to get a little bit of distance. So what we're going to do now is to start getting the dog to move towards the hand a little bit and clicking and marking for that. Again, aiming for 80% success rate before we make anything any more challenging for them. All right, we're going to have a go. Touch, 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 touch. Good girl, well done, sweetie. Good job. Okay, so I varied the position. I also, really importantly, varied the distance. So sometimes it's kind of human nature. We want to kind of go, we've got something, so like, let's try a little bit further, let's try a bit further. And if we make it harder every time for our dog, they end up giving up. They lose motivation because the game gets harder every time they play it. So give them some easy wins. With Milani, I asked for some big, like, so she was moving all the way over to here for me. And then the next time I asked her for a really, I asked her for a really nice little easy one, nice in and close. So this way we're building on distance, but not making the game harder and harder all the time. They get some easy little wins and they stay motivated and enjoying the game. All right, time for you to have a play. In this session, we are going to start getting further and further away. So getting our dog to come in and touch that hand. So for the first part, I've been feeding and treating out of my hand. Now what I'm actually going to do is to flick a treat instead of feeding out of hand. So what this does is it repositions the dog, sets them up to be able to come back in and touch that hand again and build on distance. So a really nice way, and it's kind of fun. They kind of think they're chasing the treaty, which is even more fun than just getting it out of their hand. Okay, so we're going to have a quick little go and see how Milani goes. Touch. 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 Good girl. Well done. Good girl. Well done. Okay, so we varied where my hand was, we varied where the treat was, and also how far they had to come in and touch that hand. So sometimes it was nice and close, sometimes it was further out to the side. So build on that, get it moving, and you can see how this works really nice if we were starting to introduce it to a little recall. Milani's over there, I can present my hand, ask her for a touch, and she's going to come in nice and close to me. So really nice little one that we can use out and about. All right, happy training. Now I'm going to show you how we can use the application in teaching loose lead walking. So you don't need to lead with this one, practice it at home, around the coffee table, up and down the hallway, and getting your dog in nice and close and following you. That way when you start taking them out and about for those walks, they know the behaviour and they're good at it. So what we're going to use the hand target next to our left leg to get our dog to come into position and hopefully stay there. Light touch. 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 Good girl, well done. Okay, so I have a very little area to do it, but so you guys can see it on the video, but you can imagine, you can go up and down your hallway, around your coffee table, around the kitchen, starting to practice getting your dog in position using your little hand target. All right, thank you.